Okay, so for number 30, this one is easier. It's just asking us to simplify this statement. So what this is saying is they need this fraction multiplied 3 times, raised to the 3rd power. So I basically need to write that fraction out 3 times. If I did that, 3x to the 4th over 4y times 3x to the 4th over 4y times 3x to the 4th over 4y. And then I need to also multiply it times 2y over x to the 5th. Okay, so basically I'm just trying to figure out what all this is equal to. Well, if I look at the top, I end up with 3 times 3 times 3 times 2. And if I do that, I would get 3 to the 3rd times 2. It's 54. So on top, I get 54. On the bottom, if I multiply the numbers, I have 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. Now, I also need to figure out the variables. So, I have 3x, I have x to the 4th, x to the 4th, and x to the 4th. So, I end up with x to the 12th on top. And on bottom, I have y times y times y, which is y to the 3rd. Now let's take care of the other variables. There's a y on the top, and there is 5 x's on the bottom. Okay, so basically I have this statement, 54x to the 12th times y over 64 y to the 3rd times x to the 5th. So I need to simplify this a little bit more. Now, if I have numbers that I can divide the top and the bottom by, it can be simplified. So I can divide both of these things by 2, and if I divide 64 by 2, I get 32 on the bottom. And if I divide 54 by 2, I end up with 27 on top. So I end up with 27 over 32. I can't see that. Sorry. 27 over 32. Now my variables work a little bit differently. If I have 12 x's on top and 5 on the bottom, I said if I have 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom, they cancel each other out. So I would get to cross off 5 x's from the bottom and 5 x's from the top, which would leave me with 7 x's on top. Or you can just subtract these numbers, 12 minus 5. Then, if I have it looks like I have 1 on the top, and I definitely have some on the bottom, so I'd get to cross off 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. So I would end up with y squared underneath. So my final answer, it looks like, would be A, 27x to the 7th over 32y squared.